Hello there, you beautiful internet and amazing creatures of the beyond. I'm working on the mod. I'm not that far from finishing it, but I thought, well, let's do this together. Like, let's have a chill session of retouching some of the things that we're doing here. Um, and today I'm gonna try something interesting. I'm gonna put some music in the background that's royalty free and copyright free and whatever free. So let's see if that works. If not, well, it's an experiment. We shall see. I'm not. I hope it picks up. I have no clue if it works. Hopefully it does. Come on, sing. Well, it's singing there in the background. I put it on a lower volume. Now, this is one of the subjects. This is one of the GAIs of the game. Well, my version of GAI. And well, this one is pretty much finished. I retouched all of the elements. I'm doing kind of destructive work because I don't know. I feel confident on my skills today. Well, maybe I should lower the volume a bit more on this song. I'll put their link in the description down below if you want to check their music. It's really good music. Okay. Or maybe I should set it up from here. I don't know. We shall see. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. This one. Well, this one is pretty. Most of the what I have are pretty well generated. I'm going to just retouch a few things that are too distracting for the eye. Oops. So just little retouches. Sometimes they have like a really horrible backgrounds and stuff. So right here we have some bloom that we want to get rid of. Just minor touches. They're very difficult to spot unless you really zoom in. But this software is pretty competent. So now I'm just gonna simplify my work. Select this, go with the paint bucket, go with black, and voila, the problem is solved. You still see there's some artifacts here and there, and I'm gonna clean this one up. They're not even gonna be noticeable even if I leave them because the icons will be smaller in the game, but you know, I kind of like doing this. It's very relaxing and it feels awesome to take things away from the painting and reconstruct them in some cases. But this one is pretty much okay. I also do sometimes facial reconstructions but obviously not this complex. This is quite complex to retouch upon, although not impossible. And mm, there are still a lot of discrepancies and issues, like especially in the year here. But again, since this is for the game and most of this will be small, it will be unnoticeable. I'm gonna use this magical brush here to mix things here. Make it a little less to stand out. Maybe even push this. Mm. Yeah, something like that. Feels a bit natural. On this side it's pretty lighten up to the blue, so I'm just trying to push some of this color down, but it's not working. Maybe my brush is too big. Let's try a smaller brush. Mm, okay, that's better. Just defines this shape a bit more. Again, unnoticeable things. I can even remove them if I want to. But sometimes leaving some complexity, some gibberish complexity like this, which has no role, no scope, no nothing, can help. And it can make our subject even more interesting. The whole point of art is to make it look interesting, to make you go like, that looks cool. Good. Did we save this? Well, I already made a bunch. These are for the red. These are other portraits. Oh, so I haven't done it. Oops. Um, just a second. I need to copy. Ah, you can't see. Weirdly enough, I set this thing to what's it called? To record only the application, and it can't even take the full frame of the application. It does. I don't know. For some reason, it only takes the middle part. I don't know how to fix this. I mean, I know how to fix it is to share the entire screen, but there's so much things happening on the screen that I thought it would clutter too many of the elements that were already working. So I want to keep it nice, fresh, and clean and simple. So we're doing that. You can't see what I'm doing right now because I'm basically saving the files and it doesn't show the prompt. Um, did I save it? Interesting. Okay, and this one. Yeah. Okay. So we have saved both of them. Now, next one. This one has a lot more bloom. Sometimes leaving some of the bloom can help, but in this case, it's pretty distracting over here. What I always like to do is kind of imagine how this character fit in the lore of the game. So the GAIs, or well, AI for simplification, in the game they're like these rogue programs that started working against humanity. The lore is pretty complex, but the idea is that they revolted against the humans. Well, not necessarily revolted, more like they malfunctioned, and maybe they revolted because they were also intelligent. But what remained were basically the units that were trying to expand the Galactic Empire and terraforming and so on. But at one point, they kind of changed their protocols, so they were equipped to defend themselves and replicate in order to be efficient in their expansion. But when people came in, they were like, "Yeah, why are you here?" It's like you're considered a threat, and they started fighting. Although they're quite, it's kind of weird because in the game, these AI units are sometimes deprecated in their design, but some of them are more advanced than what you have in the sense of availability in the game. Not totally, but some of the things like the Omega AIs are out of this world. They're like the most advanced prototypes out there. Again, play the game if you wanna see how cool it is. Okay, let's fix this. I'm gonna take this beautiful brushy. Let's and what I do, I sample the background. Oh, this is weird. Huh. My mouse is totally not over here. It's higher. I guess yeah, well, the streaming isn't working so great. Well, what can you do? We shall work with what we have. Okay, so I'm gonna clean up here. You see, it's like I'm painting here and my mouse is over here. I don't know. It's not showing correctly. Just roll with it. Consider it's okay. It's natural. I'm gonna take this edge over here. Slowly go around, around. Perfect. And I have it set to hardness 40 something, 40%. Let's increase this. And sometimes you can even lower the flow if you think it's too aggressive, or play with the opacity or hardness or whatever your setups are. These are general settings that apply to GIMP, to Photoshop. Hey, whoa, I almost drew a dot in the middle of his forehead. Interesting. We would have made him an Indian, I suppose, with a black dot instead of the traditional red one. Okay, let's try to clean this up. And when you're doing this, do short strokes. Let the brush do all the work. Just play around. Okay, this looks okay. Let's use this. Our paint bucket, bam. Super. Super duper. Okay, let's save, export. Bam, bam, bam. I think this one looks pretty much okay. I have just one little issue with him over here. In the neck. I really love this brush. Fixes things on the fly. Sometimes you have to play with it to get some. But this is a good example. We're zooming in too much. We can also use a brush, like a normal brush. And what I would like to do sometimes is just reduce the flow, maybe to something like a 28. I'm gonna take this sampling of a color and just go over here and bam, bam. Do some reconstruction surgery. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, I think we pushed too much of this color. But of course, be careful with how you draw it, because sometimes you can push too much of the color into one direction and it might deform the subject. And just constantly sample from where you're drawing or painting. Let's see how this looks. Perfect. See? You can't even realize there was an interruption over there. I think that looks much more fluid. One thing that does stand out is over here. Let's take some samples from over here. Raise my flow. And let's remove this little thingy over here. But don't work destructive like me. Create a new layer on top. I think this here doesn't look great either. Let's see. Fortunately, this software that I'm using is very permissive, and it allows me to go back in the history to undo the undo history quite a few steps. So yeah, I can take a few risks. Okay. I suppose this looks nice. Let's use our beautiful paint bucket. And I know this is a little bit dirty how I'm doing it, but I'm not looking for accuracy, I'm just looking for the broader picture. Okay, zooming in, zooming out just to see if there's any small errors here and there, but everything looks okay. So let's save this one as well. This is number 4. Okay, we are done with yellow for the male counterpart. Now let's do the female counterpart. Let me see where they are. Tum, 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 tum. And now let's just do some magic. Okay, so I said this, I need to rasterize them for some reason. I'm not fully acquainted with this software. Okay, so things that are distracting. I suppose this part. Maybe remove a bit more. And I don't know. These two things. Well, let's just try to see how it looks without them. No, I think they add the necessary complexity. Sometimes you see this is very darkened on the top here of the head. I'm gonna push the mouse a little higher. So you kind of need something to balance this negative volume to kind of differentiate from the background. And in this case, these two dots over here, they're not bad to have there. They're just like an anchor point if you wanna name it like that. Okay. Bucket and bucket. I'm just making sure the background is black just in case there was a different hue. Sometimes you can't notice this in RGB monitors. Not that there are other... Are there other monitors that are not RGB? I haven't seen CMYK RGB monitors. Maybe there is a setting. I don't know. I haven't tested that. But that's interesting. Obviously, what I'm talking about is different ways to view the colors on your screen. CMYK is for printing. So when you're going to print something, if you want to get the best out of your colors, move to that version, and you'll know what you'll get at the end. Okay, this one is done. So we're going to rename this. This one is yellow. Let's put them in the correct folder. And again, I'm gonna give you guys this file when I'm finished with it, so you guys can play around, though there isn't much to do in it, because... And I also don't know how it will react in Photoshop, because weirdly enough, this one sets up all of the effects that I'm doing. Like if I'm pushing for, let's say, I'm increasing the noise or decreasing it or clarifying it and so on, or doing blurs, it embeds it inside the layer. So it kind of creates this sort of a group in quotes that you can expand directly on the layer. And I don't know how that translates to Photoshop. I suppose they're just setting the layers underneath. Mm, or maybe it converts it to a smart layer. I'm not sure because this software, Affinity Photo, does not have smart layer. I mean, it has something like smart layers, but works totally different than how Photoshop applies it. In a way, I kind of like this workflow because it's far more easy to follow and it makes organization a bit easier. But sometimes it can also be a mess. So yeah, it's objective. It's subjective, sorry. Okay, let's move to our next guest. Ooh, this one is kind of hard. Mm, I think these parts are kind of distracting here. Let's remove them. Let's remove this slowly so we don't destroy. That's not good. I did hurry over there too fast. You don't want to destroy the anatomy. So try to be patient. Treat her like a lady. I think that looks okay. I like her lips. But again, they are meant to be holograms. So they're trying to, because in my mind, these AIs are trying to simulate human interface. So the developers, when initially created the AI, thought that it would be more, I don't know, easy for people to communicate or to not communicate, to relay information and to give commands to something that looks more human rather than code on a screen. So since the AI got corrupted, so did their holograms and their view of humanity gets distorted and so on. But it kind of has some, because that's what I'm thinking, remnants. So it has some remnant memory of what humanity looked like. But then again, it's in the far future, so humanity also evolves. So we get these things. And this is what I like. Science fiction is about expanding your imagination. This game is kind of grounded, like the vanilla version is giving gives you portraits that look more pretty much human, you know. They have very few variations here and there, but you can recognize them like, oh, they look so human. But what I try to do is like, let's take in consideration, and I'll show you immediately. Let's see where the I'm gonna disable this. Let's go to the loot. So the loot faction is very unique in the sense that they consume a lot of recreational drugs. So I thought to myself, why don't I make them a little bit more unique and give them this ability so that their eyes are glowing because they're kind of the Amish of the empire, the Amish population, the subfaction, and they're kind of against technology, though they use technology. It's conflicting for them, you know. But they also dwell in a lot of weird stuff, and they have their religious zealot um, individuals, and I kind of imagine that even the pirates fear them. Even though the pirates are insane, they know that the loot sub-faction is far more insane than they are. So they kind of stay away from them. They find them weird. They also tend to do like these crazy implants that don't go well with their faces and so on. So they're kind of slipping into madness and losing their humanity, and they're morphing into this thing that is, well, totally alien. This one looks like Kane. Yeah, so. Oh, I didn't fix this one. Interesting. Well, let's do this fix very fast. Didn't realize I missed it. Okay, that looks much better. Facial reconstruction. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, you see? Although, I kind of get that these ones look a little bit more rough, and I had a hard time generating them through the easy diffusion. And the rest of the models look more. Well, I'll show you the women. They are more composed. Oh, this one is also distracting over here. Let's remove it. I suppose that looks okay. Let's save this. Oh, come on. Cooperate with me. Yes, I want to replace it. Okie dokie. Karaoke. So if we look at the women, where are you? Female. Okay. Well, this one is pretty plain. It looks a little hippie, but still has some deformations here and there. I kind of liked how AI just does these really weird artifacts and they look out of place, like these things. Really inspires you to like shiver when you look at something that's out of the natural physiology of the human form. So they have various. Maybe I should have removed some of the. Well, actually, I should retouch this really fast since we are on the subject matter. One thing I do not like about this software is the fact that I click to show a layer, but it's not selecting the layer, so kind of have to do that manually. Otherwise, I'm just painting on another layer. Even if that layer is hidden, it paints on it. And this is what I liked about Photoshop is that when you're on a hidden layer and you're not on the current layer, it does not allow you to paint over it. But here, no. Why should I do that? Let's just paint what you do not see. And you're like, wow, whoa, what are these black lines? Where did they come from? And it's like, I did it like 10 days ago. Now I need to undo it. And since I'm working destructively, well, I have to redo the whole portrait. But no, that didn't happen. I've been careful. I always check where I am. Check my lyrics. Although this one is kind of blurred, it kind of serves a purpose to some degree. Let's replace it. Okay, let's see another one. This one is kind of strong, but I really like the eyes. They look very disturbing. Her face is becoming a mask. You see, it's like cracking and stuff. And even though it's perfect, who knows what lives underneath? So I kind of like this concept, so I left it in there, flawed as it was. This one, well, I don't. I liked it. This one is a. I had a little difficult time with this one to kind of get it correctly, but I liked a lot of the things going on around her chest. So her face is not perfect, but then again, in the game it won't be that noticeable. This one I liked a lot. Really, really feels interesting. Well, this is one that's a bit more generic. I thought I retouched this. Or maybe I did leave it like her, like this. Okay, let's see if I can remove some of the extra hair here and see how that looks. Hmm. don't know. She has these tubes here. No. Okay, let's try. I'm gonna leave it like this then. Export it. Yes, please. This one really looked interesting to me. I should work a little bit. Oh my god, it doesn't show any of the prompts. That's so annoying. This one is too lit, and let's see if we can do something about the dark. Yeah, that feels a bit better. I'm using curves for this one. I'm not sure what this is, but it kind of adds a support to the subject somehow. This little element over here. It's not difficult to remove, but I don't know. If I remove it, I don't know, I think it's gonna look a bit too... Oops, I'm drawing on the mask. Of course, we have to be careful which part of the painting we are approaching. I'm gonna leave that there. I don't know. Maybe let's try to blur it. Let's see what happens if we try to blur it. Nothing much. Well, I'm just gonna export it really quick. Oops. Oh, the song has finished. I didn't even realize time flew so fast. Let's try this one. I don't know what this is. This is industrial bass mix. Okay, so we are doing the ludic path. Oh, it's the same song, just 2 hours longer. Yes. And this one is also generic, but interesting. You know, she looks imposing, so I kind of liked it. I left some of the color gradient in blooming here, whatever that is. Looked nice. Okay, so this is this. I did have a few things that I haven't used in here. I love her things. Even though I could have fixed it, but I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's give it a try. These were supposed to be hands, I suppose. First thing that we need to fix in here. Just a second. Let me make sure I'm on the right element. Maybe let's try to fix this part. Why it's not working? Okay, now it's working. Now it is working. Okay, let's see if we can fix something like this. Nope. Let's do it in smaller steps. That looks a bit better. Oops. Still kind of lighten up here. I would have pushed some shadows. But I'm more curious to see if I can kind of get rid of some of these things. Although they look quite interesting, to be honest. Ah, the bloom is getting in the way. So yeah, this is why I didn't want to take this one. It's not impossible to fix, but it's so much retouching, and I don't know. It's some things in here just mm, I don't know. Looks too organic, and it's not really fitting. It's starting to morph into a mutant alien, something like that, and they're not that far gone. This subfaction. This one was cool, but there is a lot of bloom over here, and I had a difficult time to kind of balance the colors. And there is also a lot of hair that is going all over the place. Again, not difficult, not impossible to fix. I tried here, but as you see, it's like it's already starting to show the difference of black and this bluish dark background. So then it leads into more brush strokes over here. So I kind of left it on the side. It's too much work. If somebody's curious and wants to play around with these things, I'm happily leaving them in here because they're good subjects in my opinion. Kind of like the things that were going on here. Make them look a bit more like the woods, the people of the woods. And this one wasn't that bad. She looked a little bit Sarkian, if you're into that sort of thing. Okay, so let's go back to our other faction. The AI. So we were doing AI female. This one is a bit imposing. Let's try. I'm gonna remove some of the vibrance here. Let's see. Yeah, that makes it look a bit more cinematic. So let's see how this translates into the game files. Save, save, save. Oh, I didn't save the first one. Silly me. She looks a bit cylindrical over here. I should change that. Mm, One way I would do it, and this is non-destructive, is do it with liquify. So let's try to push it a bit like so, a bit like so, a bit like so. I don't know if it works, I'm just plotting stuff. But on the other hand, straight lines kind of mean... Let's remove this. Yeah, I don't really like it. Whoops, what did I do? Whoa. I went back into the thingy. Okay, we're just gonna remove it for now. Yeah, it looks more, I don't know, not necessarily mechanical, but more tech technical? I don't know. Okie dokie. This one looks a bit older. But again, I like the complexity over here. Some of the things here I'm gonna leave because I think it adds a bit of volume since this head is kind of balloon shaped like. Let's try to remove some of these things though. This bloom we could get away with removing it. Oh, oh, oh. Pum, 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 pum. Mm, they look a little bit like earrings. Now I'm gonna see. Let's see if we can get rid of this bloom. See what that does for our subject. Does it help us? Yeah, AI are replacing designers. Ha ha ha. Definitely. Well, they're very good tools to be honest. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Okie dokie. Okie dokie karaoke. Let's export you. And last one. I don't know, this one I really liked. Although this part is a bit distracting over here. Let's see if we can fix this. Ah! Not clicking in the right layer. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Now, I'm gonna take the brush. Small brush. Small flow. I'm gonna push it really slow over here. Try to make sure that we're kind of respecting. Maybe I should zoom in a bit more. Although it's very pixelated, don't be afraid to experiment with various colors. Now, this one, in my opinion, it pushes too much into this color. So I should try to remove some of it. Um, okay. No. So if you look really close, you can start to see what I mean by pixel painting. Maybe even do it smaller. Let's try. Maybe the problem is the size. Yeah, there we go. We need some shadows over here. What else do we need over here? A bit of more shadow. This doesn't look too bad, although this color is too intruding. Let's try to remove some of it. Okay, we're making progress. Okay, now I'm gonna try to kind of recreate some of the information around. Not good. Okay. Perfect. Oh, look at that. Much better. Although I would still push some of this blue. Oops. In here. But blue with green gives it that metallic look. That chrome-like look. Which is not bad. There are some artifacts over here, but these ones... I don't know, they kind of add some complexity to the face. It's not perfect, so I'm not trying to go for perfection. Oh, oops. Let me push this more here. This one is to lighten up. We need some shadows. Well, that's the best we can do for now. It's pretty difficult to reconstruct information that we do not have. We basically replaced an entire element over there and build it in our own image. In the grand scale of things, I think it looks good. I'm still gonna try to push a bit of the color over here. Yeah, like that. Okay, that looks... I don't know, maybe I'm overdoing it right now, but still. We work with what we have. Now, I initially thought this would be distracting, but actually no. Because it's kind of a reflection, so she's kind of made out of this matrix. Usually in modeling, this applies like the lattice, I think it's called. And you have all these squares that distribute across the face. Of course, it's pretty difficult to wrap around the character in this case because it's not made with a 3D modeling tool. But the principle is similar. So sometimes when these seams, where you have a seam between two of these regions, two of these squares, let's call them, you can get this lighting errors, let's say, and this is kind of what you get, like these weird things, because the geometry tries to kind of indicate which part is lit and which is not. And it's interesting that in let me make a thing here. Usually when you're doing uh, you're doing something in 3D, so it kind of takes a square like this and a square like this next to it, in the mesh, and it kind of calculates like where the light is. So for example, if 0 is shadow, let's say you want to have shadow over here, so it's gonna be 0, and over here 0. So let's say the light would be from 1 to 0, and you would want to have 1 here, 1 here. But between 0 and 1, there's an infinite amount of numbers that you can put, like 0.1 point, and so on and so on and so on. But sometimes here at the sim, depending on how it's positioned and what things are going around it and how they're wrapping, if the geometry is not fixing, it can get the values wrong here, and then you would, instead of having, let's say, 0.5 over here and 0.6 over here, you'd get 0.5 over here. That's a weird 0. And then you would probably get, I don't know, 0.9 over here, which is a huge discrepancy. And maybe you get a 0.7 over here and a 0.9 over here, which is becoming really weird. And then the lighting is starting to go sort of like, instead of going like this uniformly, it kind of goes cross. I don't know. It's becoming weird. So yeah, I was just trying to demonstrate. For some reason, I can't paint really. I can't write. Well, I have an issue writing stuff, so take it for what it is. Good. Now that we got that out of the way, and we understand how this works, not. we shall uh, we shall leave it as it is. That's an oversimplification um, of how 3D modeling works. Obviously, there is a lot more algorithms behind it, and light is not that simplistic. But I was just trying to give an explanation of why these things generate this way. So we finished with the yellow. That's good. Now let's move to the blue. Okay, I'm gonna disable the yellow girls, women, and blue. And for the blue faction, I thought, well, they should be more military-like. They should be the prototypes that are the strongest and above. They're under Omega. Omega is the strongest prototype. But these ones were actually no, they were put in industry, and blue are kind of the stronger units in the AI fleet, and they command the strongest ships. So let's rasterize, put them into the correct category, and let's see their naming now. Okay. I'm just renaming them for the mod to be easy to identify when I export them. Well, this one is pretty dope. Again, they try to kind of simulate humanity, but they're not reaching that, so they're creating these exoskeletons at this point. I don't think there's anything distracting. Actually, this kind of looks inwards, like you're looking through like the mask is turned around and you're looking through the mask somehow. And it's predatory, like, I don't know. It looks interesting. And I made a few variations for it. So in the game, usually in the game, you just find one or two icons of the blue AI. So I'm going to give a few variations that, oh, this looks like, I don't know, a Transformers. Well, I don't care. It fits. If it fits, it sits. Now this is a Terminator. Now initially I thought I should remove some of these things, but no, it kind of gives this idea that it's sparking, it's filled with electricity, and it's almost ready to explode on you. I love it. I love it. So we're going to use it. And this is another Transformers. Let's see if it's too different. Yeah, it's different than the previous one. They look more like fighter pilots' helmets. But yeah, good. They're really, really good. I like them. And now let's go for the female version. And these ones, I tried to make them more ominous. I know it's a little bit to the side for you, but again, I don't know what Twitch Studio is doing here. It's acting weird. But weird can also be interesting. So blue. Yeah, now we're getting into the feel like this really looks like AI. It's trying to simulate being human, but it recognizes that it's not human anymore. It's emerging into its own thing, and maybe to some point it's trying to say it's like we're the next step into the human evolution, even though we're not human. We were created by you, so YOLO. The rise of the machine, which are blue in this case. Let me make the naming correctly. So, this one. This one is more fluid. It's translucent. So it's truly becoming alien in its own right. Now this one, I think it needs a bit of retouching over here. Let's see if we can. Oh, we can. Whoops. Like this. Oh, come on. Okay, let's see. I think I'm gonna leave some of this bloom because of the neon lighting. Oh, come on, brush. Stop messing with me. Just gonna clean a few things that are just too out of place. Maybe down here. Yeah, there we go. And over here. Maybe a bit more. This one is a bit too strong outside. Okay, I think that should do it. her eyes are interesting. They're liquid somehow inside. Yeah, I like it. The future of humanity. What could go wrong? This one also looks pretty interesting. It's sort of like a mask that covers the face, so they're kind of going into that transformer mode. This one I have to clean a few things here. No biggie. We are professionals. We know how to fix things. They should raise the flow. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. So let's export her. I like the eyebrows. Okay, so did I export everybody? Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Yes. So we have 12 models now instead of the previous. I think there were 6, but somehow in the game files I only see 3 of them applied to the AI. So maybe this is from the latest update the game got, but still. Pretty decent. Fine. So we have finished with the AI. Just gonna enable the other ones. Bum, 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 bum. We're gonna disable the AI. And now let's go to the characters. Oof, the characters are going to be quite a bit of work. These are the game characters. And I already renamed them. And actually, I have already done some work here. So this is Kanta. I I liked the original, but it felt a bit flat. And I said to myself, why don't I go something more extreme? Like, I always found her fascinating. She's one of the leaders of the pirate families. And she's very imposing and she's menacing and I don't know, she's sadistic and cunning and intelligent to some point. So I thought, let me give her something that people can really feel the fear out of her and the evil, and this just fit perfectly. I got some other versions, but they weren't so great. And I thought like she could have this skull mask on her head, and she's like, yeah, I love it. I love it. So this is Kanta. Um, then we have this guy is called Chero. Just a second so I can find it correctly. Characters. Where are you? There we are. Jetro Bornanyu. What the hell? So this is the version where his screen is not showing him, or maybe I haven't yet played the campaign, the new campaign, so we'll have to play that as soon as possible. So this is the version where we have him on the screen, and this is how it is when he's in person. So you have, I don't know, it's story related, so we shall see. So I created these 2 versions. Now I'm kind of conflicted now if I should leave this blue bloom here. Let's see how it looks without it. This guy is a lewd. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like this. Okay, so this is fixed. Let's give it the correct naming. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Okay, and then we have, oops, Elisa Zal. So Elisa Zal looks something like this. This is on the screen when you first meet her, so you can't recognize her. And this is her. And I think I'm gonna leave these things in the back, maybe except some of the dots over here. Because I feel it looks industrial and corporate, and it gives a bit of more complexity to it. And I didn't want to clean her up. I thought like this setting of the background is just fitting perfectly. And the game has a thing to replace kind of the black background and set up their own backgrounds. But in this case, I thought like, maybe it will work. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it as it is. So these are three characters that were the most important to clean up at first because they had like specific settings. But then we have like the rest of them. Let me make sure I'm not selecting the ones I already did. So no Kanta. Oh, come on, where are you? No, this guy. And not you. Perfect. Perfecto. Let me put them on top. And what did I do? I did something weird. Yeah, I did something weird. What the hell did I do? Where is my... Oops, 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 oops. Okay, now that should work. And let's rasterize. And disable them. So let's go with the first one. This one is called Cotton. And he looks pretty much cotton-like. Let's remove the bloom. Hop, 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 hop. There we go. Nice and smooth and easy. Okay, so let's make the brush smaller. Let's zoom in. Oh, what you doing? Sometimes I confuse the key bindings and I just press Alt instead of Control, and because I'm working in so many softwares and each have their individual behaviors and setups, and sometimes I just like forget. Okie dokie. I think that looks perfect. Although his eye here is kind of in the shadow. Let's see if we can do something about this. Let's try to lower it. Good. Huh? Or not? Maybe just a tiny bit. I don't know, he looks handicapped now. Maybe I should leave it black. It's like one eye is going into the skull. Never mind. We'll leave it as it is. Let's see any distracting things. This dot over here. Maybe we can do something here. No, it even breaks. Oops. What if I take the brush and just go slowly over it? And maybe some of this, some of this. Just trying to blend in the colors a bit more to look just a bit natural. Oops. Maybe here. Whatever. I think that takes the eye to the face and not to that little spot, I hope. So cotton, made out of cotton. Export. So you have to be in a special characters. A special, oh, oops, damn it. I didn't save him correctly. Silly me. What can you do? Such is life. Also, let me save Kanta. Save, 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 save. And I have this guy, Boba Fett here. Actually, I see something distracting over here that I don't like. Yeah, let's do away with this as well. Well, maybe that works. Okay. So you guy, you mister, shall be exported. Bam. And oh, 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 oh. Perfecto. Now let's do this one. Oops, I didn't get her name. I think it's 2. Is it? Yeah. Okie dokie. Perfect. So we are done with this one. Let's go to chorus. Okay, this one, I think we need to fix this part over here I didn't particularly like. Over here though. Meh. Maybe this part. Okay, I kind of like her now. She looks good. Important character in the game, in the story. This one really needs a few upgrades. Now, let's see. Ooh, this isn't looking good. We'll have to manually fix her. So let's do the same color over here. Not entirely sure this is full black. Let's see her. Weirdly, her neck is so long. Technically, the body shouldn't start here. It should start around here somewhere. Anyway, we can't be bothered to find out this information. Kind of like these things. I'm gonna leave them, these ornaments. Okie dokie. And now let's see this other part. Wham bam. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, now let's select this. Beautiful paint bucket. Let's clean this part out. Bam, bam, bam. Perfecto. Come on. Ah, come on. Save. Good. This guy. I really like this guy. He's imposing. Have to be careful over here. It's difficult to see where the edge starts and finishes. So I'm gonna just be gentle. like with a flower. Maybe take a bit more to shape out the head a bit more. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, perfect. Perfecto. Let's try to push this. Eh, eh, eh. Okay, okay, okay. This one is very lit up, so we shall have to make some. Oh, I didn't realize my flow was so low. Damn it. Now I realize. Oh, it was difficult for me to paint correctly. Okay, okay, okay. We're doing good progress. Also, this this software, I think it aids you when you're painting because it looks at the black background and it compares it with the channel where you have colors. So I think it kind of has a passive edge detection to not push the black color too much in, but I'm gonna push it up here. Kind of want to blend it in a bit with the background. Okay, let's use the smaller brush. Also, you don't need special brushes. Actually, any brush will do. I don't even bother. Sometimes I do like customizable brushes if I have difficult spots, like angles and so on. And believe it or not, a very simple way to do that is to use an elliptical brush, or sometimes even a square brush, though I don't particularly like square brushes. Let's make that look a bit 3D over there. Let's try something. Oh, no. Shoot. Uh, how the hell did I do that? Like this. This takes ages. Okay, I can use control. Just to change the angle a bit and work easier. Let's also try to 3D make this one. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, come on. There we go. Now let's see here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Smaller brush. Gentle, slow strokes. Just like eating a chocolate with passion and desire. And maybe with a little bit of insanity in your eyes. Okay, I like it. I like it a lot. You guys are so good at making this art thing, you know? Yeah, this is art. We're painting black backgrounds. I love it. Maybe this one is too much. think I pushed a bit too much in here, but well, little accidents happen. Just try to simulate this. I know why whatever, not noticeable. We're gonna survive with what we have. I'm not reconstructing that. Anything that distracts us. This part over here looks a bit distracting. Oops. Yeah, the other brush, the magical brush, not the normal one. No, I'm gonna leave it. I like it more. Also, I like this complexity over here. It's not so bland. Always leave some weird artifacts in there. Adds to the complexity. Makes it look more natural. Let try this one. I'm gonna leave it like this. You are ready to be exported. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. This guy is from the Persian League, but I feel he needs a bit of curves. Well, I mean for the shadows and highlights. Okay, that seems reasonable. So, without and without and with. Just small little details. I'm gonna leave the vibrance very powerful here because they are more colored in Okay, I don't think I like how straight that line is over there on the hair. Let's try to smooth it out. Yeah, totally smooth it out. Yeah, maybe here a bit more. Yeah, that looks more organic and softer. Maybe these highlights are a bit intense, but I don't know. They kind of work. So I'm gonna leave them. They're done. Oh, the Doctor. I really like this character. Now let's see what we can do here. The stars are because I wrote space in the prompt. So it's trying to add space things. Although I clearly said black background, maybe I should add some other stuff, I don't know. This part over here is a bit distracting, let's see. Maybe even more. He's like sort of a mad scientist. I like him. Maybe he needs some curves as well. Curves adjustment. I'm working with all of the global curves. I'm not doing individual colors. Although you can, and I highly encourage you to do so. Oh, that's better. We're getting that nice highlight expression over there. But I feel like we need to reduce the vibrance a bit. This is too much. This one is kind of... Sliders are very sensitive on this setting, so let's see. This one adds the perfect balance. And this one just knocks it out. Perfect. Perfect, Mr. Doctor. Time for you to go into the files. This guy, he's from the Persian League, but he's difficult to... this is gonna take a bit of work. Well, he's not all that difficult. But he's a bit blurry on the edges, so... No me gusta. No me gusta, señor. Or señorita. Let's make this a bit 3D to pop up. Okay, perfect. Little bit of reach over here. Messed it up here. I like that. I think something like this. Okay. Let's do the ear, the neck. I just have to pay close attention because these are like very minute fine details and we cannot afford to mess them up. Nah, it's not noticeable, it's okay. Okay, now the hair is gonna be... Now this mustache over here is getting in the way, but we can deal with it. There are some tricks to just work with certain colors that you want to exclude. I'm not gonna go too much into a detailed editing. Obviously, if I would do it, it would take a longer time. be honest, this portrait is a bit not particularly happy with it. But let's see what we can do to improve upon it. I have a few ideas and a few tools at my disposal. Let's remove this, I don't know. Just didn't feel right. And now he looks more like a cat. With these whiskers. Actually, I don't have to do anything. They kind of blend in perfectly there. Maybe over here. And over here, there's a little tiny smudge. Let's do this. It looked a little bit too out of place. Okay, so now let's see what we can do. We should add some... Well, curves are kind of not their place. Let's try something with sharpening to get something out of that beard and the hair. But not too much. And what else can we go? Let's do it clarity. Let's see how much we can recover with clarity. Not a lot. I also don't like one thing here. And I'm gonna try to see if I can do something with it. Try to darken this part. It's too much highlight over there, too diffuse, too neutral light. And maybe here on the sleeve. Maybe reduce some of this. And maybe some of this. And definitely over here, I don't like it. Too much. Maybe a bit more. I lower my voice, it means it's serious. I have to be extra careful. Maybe here. Bit, and over here a bit more. Just put him a bit in the shadow. I mean, there are other ways to improve the shadows and highlights and so on, but we're doing quick and dirty jobs here to speed up the process. Otherwise, we're never gonna finish 50 something characters. Let's try some curves though. I'm curious. That's too strong. Although, let's do a little strong. And I'll show you in a moment why. So this is kind of extreme, to be honest. That's too extreme. We're losing too much information. But what I can do is reduce the opacity. So I'm gonna go to 0 opacity. I can drag that slider and slowly push it to the moment I see that it feels right. So I'm kind of following the eyes. Maybe a 30% would do. Let's see. Yeah, I feel it's... Let's see without all of this. And with all of this, maybe let's do a mask on this. Is it the curves? The clarity, or it's all of them? Oh, what did I do? Apparently does not like that. I need to smoothen out that shining thing because this is more like cloth. Jesus. Ah. This is an interesting effect that we don't know what caused it. I think it's the curves. So I'm gonna do a mask on the curves. And I'm going to remove this part. Ah, damn it. Brush. And let me try to simulate this on the other ones as well. Oops. And here in the sharpening, I think the sharpening does all of the issues. Yeah, that softens it up. But now I think we should try to kind of go around the edges and try to soften it up gradually. Let's see what does. Okay, that starts to look like something better. Perfect. And it's not perfect, but hey. It's better than it was before. Although, let's try something. Let's take this color. have a reduced flow. Just gently go, maybe less flow. Let's go with 11%. So gently push in, and then sample it again, and again. Try to kind of reduce the smudge over here so it's not that obvious. It was too little. I could have used another trick, but it would take too long. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it as it is. Okay, so your name is... I forgot. Dolos. Well, we did quite a little bit of work on Dolos. Took longer than I expected. Now this guy, obviously, I don't know why it's that artifact over there. Brush. Full flow. I think this guy is also from the Persian League. Elec. We shall see. We shall see in the game, when we play the game. Okay, let's do some savings. And let's remove some of this. I've seen a cool thing from Photoshop. They're making like integrated AI to simplify your work, and you just give it some commands and it can automate some of the work you're doing that would take hours. Maybe something even like this. But I don't know. I feel like when you're doing it yourself, you're also training your hand to work with the pen or with the mouse. You can also do this with the mouse, although it's a bit more difficult. But still pretty doable because we're not doing complex edits. Although the pen tab has one advantage because it has pen pressure. So depending how hard you press on the tablet, you get like sharper or more defined strokes. And if you're gentle, you're gonna get more relaxed strokes. Oops. Change my position a bit. Come on, get his corner of the ear. And over here. I think it looks okay. No, these two things are distracting. And I think we can leave it like this. I think everything else is composed correctly. Mr. Alec. let's add you to the rest of your friends. Now, this is also an important character. It's called Gargoyle. Although in the game he looks a bit more cartoonish, I got kind of the correct composition, I think. And just for reference, let me see if I can find it. Let me show you from... Oh, I don't have it anymore? Oh, I do. Let me show you the pain of what I started with. So going from this to this, I think it's a big improvement, isn't it? Okay, let's fix this really quick. Fortunately for us, the black is black. And I think this one is trying to manipulate us into looking at it. So maybe this part as well. Yeah, I think this will work. Okay, Mr. Gargoyle, let me see you. He kind of looks like this in the game as well. He also has some glasses or something. But I thought, I don't know, this one looks a bit more serious and funky and funny. Okay, this guy, well, I think we need to fix the hair and whatever is up there. Sometimes the AI tries to infuse some text for some reason and he doesn't know how to write. He just does do this weird symbol things that simulate writing. Sometimes it gets letters, but they look horrible. And even the arrangement of the word of the letters in the word are bad. So, but that will improve, I suppose, over time. I'm not trying to pick on the poor AI that he's not capable yet. He's learning like a child. Well, learning is not really correct. He's more like memorizing patterns. So it's more like a pattern recognition software rather than something that thinks and knows how to take decisions. I think I'm gonna leave you as you are. This one is Mr. Oak. Exporto. Now, which one is next? The historians. I think she needs some curves in here. Let's see. This one is quite... I don't particularly... I think that pushes the red a lot. But we'll reduce the opacity. And let's do some color correction over here. Let's see. Color balance, channel mixer, recolor. Selective colors. Okay, let's try selective colors because we're on the reds. And let's push them, make them a little colder. We can reduce some of that exposure. This kind of goes into the magenta for some reason. Maybe. Okay, let's see about those highlights now. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are they not cooperating? Maybe the dark, maybe medium needs to be pushed. It only leads to the... I don't know why the whole... Oh, I know why. I think. No? Oh, this is a huge improvement, though. I don't know how to reduce the highlights. Let's try some... levels. Maybe the gamma. Okay, gamma is not bad. This one is not going too great. It only affects the reds, but I don't know. Maybe I should do another color adjust, should do maybe another curve. Curves. And let's go only for the red this time. And try to push the... how the hell do I make you darker? Okay, there we go. Now, what we're going to do is create a mask on this. And we're going to invert it. And I'm just going to draw on the mask with a white paint brush. Where are you, brushy? And just kind of go on the areas that I think need to reduce the highlight. I don't know. This looks bad. I mean, under the eyes, it kind of fits. Maybe if I do it here. And now we'll just slowly reduce the opacity. Oops. Yeah. And let's try an exposure as well. Let's see, maybe that helps us out a bit. Not much. Usually exposure is good when you're trying to push the color up. But in this situation, it's not really. Maybe vibrance. Oops, where is the vibrance? Okay. Mm, yeah, definitely. This is what we started with. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna keep it like this. It's still not perfect, but it's better than what we started with. This guy looks a bit plain, to be honest. But I liked him. I don't know. It has, I don't know, his smile or something. It's just, it feels natural. Even though he is a bit more cartoonish. We shall embrace him. Horatio Caden. Maybe some vibrance here can help us. Let's see. The reduction of vibrance. Yeah, there we go. And let's try some selective color. And try to reduce the red a bit more. That pushes the global red. Don't want that. This is also not going to correctly. This one washes it too much. So maybe like this. Let's push vibrance a bit more back. And I think that will do it. Let's see. Huge difference. Okay, that looks much better. Horus. I'm gonna put some sharpening into his face. Bring out some details. Yeah, definitely fixes some things, although I don't like this part of the hair. Let's see if we can fix this. Damn it. Select the correct layer. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it as it is. I think he's also from the Persian League. Immonio. Okay, this one has a problem over here, But I liked her face. She's also from the Persian League as well. Oops. Brush. The brush is a little bit lagging. I think it's either from the stream or because I have too many things into this file that I'm working in. But we shall manage. We reduce some of this highlight on top. Let's see. Oops, too much. Yeah. And what can we do here? Maybe some curves. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Now this is based on personal taste. Sometimes maybe I push it too much or too little. Play with the opacity when you think the effect is too strong. Maybe do something about this helmet. Sharp edge. Looks a bit too reflective. I mean, this edge I understand, but this one should be more made because this is maybe like a cloth or something. But this edge I understand. It comes over here and then bam, it finishes over there. Maybe even this edge is a bit too strong. We should feather it out a bit. Yeah, maybe even more. Perfect. Okie dokie. Next. I think this guy needs a few curves. Curves. Let's see before and after. Maybe reduce the opacity to make 70 something. That looks better. This is called an initiate. Good, 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 Mr. Initiate. Let's put you in the files. Now this one. I don't know what I was thinking. She's gonna take a lot of work, but let's do this. I'm a little bit sketchy here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna find another replacement for her. She's too... Yeah. The hair is gonna be very problematic here. I mean, it can be taken out and stuff, but still it blends too much with the background. And although I can leave parts of the background, let's just try to see. Nah. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. It's pretty problematic. Is it? Maybe we can do something. Let's see. Maybe I'm underestimating it. And we have the capability. No reason why we shouldn't challenge ourselves. Oops. Okay. And we can, I think let me reduce the flow. And let me try to, I don't know, soften it. Maybe here as well. I don't know if it works, but we try our best. Hmm. What am I supposed to do here? Okay. Okay. Oops. Let me try the same trick with the flow. Very, very small flow, maybe 13, let's see. And gradually try to pick out the color. Okay, I suppose it's working. I suppose. And let's go back to our full flow. This is distracting over here. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna try to soften the edge of the hair. Maybe if we put it more in the shadow, it's not gonna be so distracting. And then what we want to do here is kind of fix this part. Even more. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, well, we did it, I think. Maybe this part needs a bit more. I think we did it. Oops. And maybe this hair is going too much outside. Well, somehow we managed. I think it looks okay-ish, but the colors here are not my favorite. Let's see if we can do something about this. Okay, I'm gonna live with that. You, my friend, you have a problem over here. Full flow. Makes my nose itchy. Okay, let's remove some of the artifacts, the bloom, the blah 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 blah. Interesting, he creates like this outline sometimes. Maybe it's to recognize a person or something. Okie dokie. Perfectamento. Laverna. Okay, we have a problem here. You need to be black. Like a heart attack. No, that sounds bad. Okay, good. You have the same issue. Damn it, I always forget that I'm not in the correct one. Let's reduce the tolerance to maybe a 1. Maybe a 2. suppose this will do. Let's put it back to 3. Well, it's not that bad actually. Just need to remove some of this. A few pixels left here and there. Rogue pixels. These are from the hegemony. Okay. Maybe here. It's probably difficult to see, but trust me, they're there. I think that will work. Okay. I don't need to be perfect. I just seen something that I did not like. Maybe let's draw it with. Oops. Ah. What am I doing? I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Oh. Okay. Let's mix the colors a bit. And I suppose that's that. It's not noticeable, but I can see it. And if I see it and it drives me insane, what can we do? Other than fix it. Hey, that's not going correct. Perfect. Perfect lemon. Just to give the neck a better shape there. And maybe this one is a bit distracting. Let's work on the small details. In the grand scale of things, they make a difference. Yeah, that works better. Bueno. Oh man, how many do we have? Oh my gosh, I have quite a few. I think we did enough for today. I'm gonna take a break. Let me see how much of the music is left there. We have like 10 more minutes. Okay, I'm gonna do 10 more minutes. Why not? This one is not as bad as this one. Yeah, I want it to be smart. Oh, oops, tolerance. Well, technically it's doable like this, but I'll do it manually. My pen was on the other side. Mhm. Me gusta. Now that is how you do it. C'est très bien. Très très bien. Maybe make this one a bit sharper over here. There we go. Hey, hey. Cooperate. Don't instigate me to make you. Wish you would cooperate faster otherwise. Huh. Huh. What does he think he does here? Oops. Maybe a little lower here. Hmm. 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 Perfecto. You see, guys, we are the best. Professional artists removing backgrounds. Well, this is an art as well. Still think here there should be a bit of better gap. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Put spacer number 1. And let's go to number 2. Suppose we can do something like this here. To simplify our work. I'm also getting lazy and I'm not in the mood to do all of that. Hey, no. Mm. Oh, I'm not in the brush. Well, I think that looks okay. This thing is distracting. Everything else looks okay. Maybe we add a few curves here. Although levels also work, but somehow I like curves more for some reason. And also, well, I don't know, somehow it's more intuitive to work with curves because you have 5 points. Well, you can make 5 points, you can start with only two. Okay, I think this softens it up a bit. Yeah, much better. Maybe a bit too strong, but we'll leave it as it is. Let's see. Ah, could be better, could be worse. And the Omega, oh, I've been waiting for you. This is gonna be the strong AI. Although they do look a bit more humane, is that because they're not a hologram anymore? These guys are something entirely different. And they're more, well, not organic in nature, but they have organic polymers. So they've become their own species in a way. Although they're still following protocols and they're still pretty much AI. They have a far more sophisticated life cycle and lifespan and philosophy. They're not very human. And I thought, like, I wanted to create two versions. Let me see where's the first one. Initially, I wanted to make it look like this, which is not bad in my opinion, but when it's on the small screen, I mean, it's gonna be a smaller image. It's not gonna be so visible with all of these details, you know? So I thought maybe they look like this under the suit, this mask or whatever. And I don't know, it just makes them more unique. They're ascending to godhood. Well, there's quite a few more left, but I'm just tired. Just gonna wait for this song to end. In a minute. Whew. So yeah. Oh, this was a nice long session. Mm, mm, mm. But I'm glad you guys joined me and saw what weird things we can do here. And if you're interested in the game and in my mod, go check it out. I'll put a link later in the description. And you all stay awesome, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye 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 bye.